Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I am here with the beautiful Sharon. She is from Melbourne, Australia, and she is, hi. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it, by the way.
Thank
She's
you.
from ex-corporate in marketing. She loves fitness, wellness, and travel. And I am so grateful you're here. If you would like to share just a little bit about yourself and let everyone know kind of who you are and where you come from, I would really appreciate it.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Firstly, thank you, Michelle, so much for inviting me on for this quick conversation with yourself. Like Michelle said, I am an ex-corporate. I call myself a corporate escapee. I've been in corporate for over 20 over years and predominantly in travel, hence my love for travel and my travel bug that keeps living within me. And so once sort of after I sort of worked for 20 over years, COVID hit. And that was when there was a little bit of a change in terms of what I wanted to do or what I could do at that time. So somehow I fell into a friend of mine asked me about if I was interested in going into green hydrogen. And I said, yep, sure, I'll be interested. It was something that, well, in my heart, I always loved sustainability. And so even though it was such a new thing to me at that time, like I was a bit like you when I told you that, oh, I delved into green hydrogen and you went, what is it? That was me, you know. And I very quickly learned about it. And then that's how it then actually brought me to my online business today. And so it was actually that I was working with a green hydrogen company, and they had, they were running this business model on the back end, and I realized that what the product was very similar to a bigger scale. It was a much smaller scale of a green hydrogen production, basically.
Very similar
That
then,
was
very
Yes, that's right. And that's basically how I got into it. My background is in travel, and then I also had always had that interest in floristry. So part of me have always done floristry as well. I work part-time, full-time in floristry. And so one of the things when I sort of thought of like, okay, I want to start looking at doing something of my own, floristry came up, and I thought perhaps I could run a florist shop. But then because I love travel so much, having a brick and mortar wasn't quite the thing for me. Like I knew it was going to tie me down because I have worked with other people who own flower shops, and it was hard
have
for
to
them to.
be there. Yeah, you have
Yes,
to be
that's right.
present. You have to be there. You have to open the shop and do the work. And yeah, it's
That's
very time
right.
consuming, I would imagine. Yeah.
That's right. And so I thought, no, that's definitely not for me, because then I had to think of, and I could see all the troubles or issues that, my bosses had, because, you have to then think of overheads, you have perishable goods, you have staff to take care of. And I was like, no, it's definitely not, as much as I love floristry, and until today I still do it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to get into. And then that's where, like I said, through my green hydrogen marketing side of things, came to know about Energic. And that's where I then delved into it and went, oh, okay, this is something that seemed to fit to what I was after. I didn't have to hold any stocks. I don't have to have a brick and mortar. I do it online. I
Lease,
love travel.
utilities. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So there's more.
I love how you stumbled into it. Like travel and floristry, that's like so different than green sustainable energy and Enagic and just what the company represents. So it's really beautiful how you transitioned into something
It
that you're
is.
that you exude your passion for it, but it's so different than what you spent most of your life doing. And I love that,
Yes.
how we can come
Yes.
from anywhere and still, you know, push into our passion through this company. That's such a
Yes.
beautiful start. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the fact that, when I first got into it, like I said, I was just looking for an online business, and I thought to myself, okay, I didn't want to do things like, I didn't want to go into fashion. I didn't want to go into floristry. I wanted something that I knew everyone needed. And so when I saw this business and I saw, the compensation plan, of what was possible, I
Yeah.
went, okay, it fits the bill because I came from a corporate background and I used to earn sort of, 100 to 120 per annum. And I looked at the compensation plan. I went, okay, this is possible. I can actually make back that kind of money in order to sustain myself in that kind of lifestyle that I've been in. So that's where I went, okay, the compensation plan hits the mark. I know I can do it. And the part of the brick and mortar, which I spoke about, all that fit the bill. When I found out that they were a Japanese company, that automatically ticked the box for me. Coming from, it's I personally was originally from Malaysia, and so knowing that it was a Japanese company, I knew the kind of culture that they have, and that ticked the box for me. And to know that like this year they are 50 years old, it in terms of anyone who has done any sort of investment, like even if you were in investing in shares and stuff, you always look at what the company is, and they literally take the box for everything. They are not a fly by night company. They've been around for 50 years. You know that there is a global distribution that once I get into, like now, I'm a distributor. I can not just distribute in Australia. I've got, connections in Malaysia, and I've just sort of started building that Malaysia league as well. And, I've got people in Dubai who are interested in it. And so for something that seems is just me, yet I've got this global distribution opportunity was just out of this world. I've never seen anything like
Yeah.
that.
And 50 years they have been established. They are not only like established and, thriving after 50 years, we're expanding like
Mm,
phenomenally. The expansion and the momentum that is like happening right now after this 50 years, it's incredible. They're not slowing down or struggling or anything like that. Like the expansion within this company and the fact that we've only saturated, I think the last I heard was like 3% of the population has only,
yeah.
there's so much more room for growth. And it's like it's happening right now, especially with so many people becoming more, I guess, wealth and health conscious, which is
Mhm.
really what this product is about. And then everyone, like not everyone, but a majority of people are really starting to realize and discover that there is another way. We don't have to spend all of our time at a job that's really not secure, and we get to take a little bit more control of our lives.
Mm,
And now that we're having that like expansive like thought process that's happening, so many more people are open and they're looking and they're ready and they're willing. So
yeah,
there's so
yeah,
much opportunity here and it's
yeah.
just scratching the surface. Years.
Definitely, absolutely. I mean, like you were talking about, the job security, and that was a big part of why I decided that to move into actually, running my own business and being my own boss. Look, I've been in corporate for 20 over years, and
Mhm.
I'm one that really strive and do everything and do my best for everything. And then once it was just actually prior to COVID that I was retrenched. And so that was the point where I thought, okay, and it wasn't retrenchment because of that, the company wasn't doing well. It was just lots of political play. And I was at that level where if you don't play the politics, something you are in the short end of it. And so because I wasn't playing the politics, I was
Yeah,
on the short end.
sacrificing your values and who you are, and now your livelihood is jeopardized. That's not cool.
Yes,
I
yes. And
yeah,
and really
I'm
that
too
was when,
controlling to be able to have somebody have that control over my life now,
yes.
Like I can't do that.
Mm, And so that was really the cutoff point where I just went, no, this is not on. Like I put in my best and the best is never enough. They were, it's always that they wanted more and more and more and more. And I'm thinking, like, why am I putting all this effort and time into building someone else's dream when I know that I can build my own my own dreams. And that's where I sort of decided, okay, I mean, I didn't sort of go straight into, I didn't cut off working on marketing and going straight into the business. I actually did it progressively, whereby, I was, like I said, I was in full time, I got retrenched. That was the learning point. I then started to build the business, but in the meantime, I did do sort of freelance marketing still, to a point where then I went, okay, I know I can do this business. And really, I think it's always the best thing to do is when you run a business like that. Yes, you do it progressively, but I remember sometimes, even I'm not sure. I'm sure you know Balaj and all, right? Like they always go, you will know the cutting point when, while it might sit uncomfortably, you do it and you won't turn back. And that was me. I
Yeah,
knew
when
that,
you
okay,
like your line in the sand, you just go all in.
yes.
I had a pretty dramatic one. Yeah,
Mm. So
yeah.
my line in the sand was really last year, where I thought, okay, I need to stop trying to do so many different things, and I put a line in the sand and go, okay, enough with the freelancing of marketing. Let me just focus on my own. Because when I was freelancing, I still realized that while I was freelancing and I was thinking that, oh, I'm my own boss and I'm still running my own show. The reality was not quite so that way, because I was still, even though I was freelancing, I was still working for someone else. I was still
Your
on,
client, yeah, had
yeah,
that
that's
control.
right. That's right. So that was basically me, and that's how I got into the business, really. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, mine was a little bit it had a lot to do with some limiting beliefs, like as a single mom, and I'm in a multi-generational house with my parents because as they get older, they need a lot of help. And we had to relocate due to a wildfire, and they had no idea what to do, where to go, like how to, they're not used to doing anything. They
Mm,
lived off the grid. They lived a very simple, like peaceful life. So having to completely uproot their whole lives, and like as they're in their, they're getting older and they need the help, they're both in their 70s. They needed someone to be there with them. So I agreed to do that. And then I ended up pregnant with my daughter. So it kind of worked out. I have help with childcare when I need it. And then they have me to rely on for, financial things, paperwork, medical, all of that stuff. And I felt this like responsibility, obligation to have the good job, like the
mm,
insurance job where I could make $10,000 a month and have 3 weeks paid vacation and all of that stuff. So I did that, and I was gone 11 hours a day, not seeing my daughter. And I would come home and cry and hold her every single night. Like I intentionally became a single mom because I wanted to be a mom. Like I didn't
mm.
want to be away from my daughter.
Yep.
So to be away from her 11 hours a day, it ripped out my heart, my core. Like I couldn't do it. So I decided I had some savings left for my settlement. And instead of like holding on to it for dear life and having it as a padding, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use that. I've been working on my credit and establishing my credit my whole life. Like I ruined it in my 20s and I've been working to rebuild it. And I had, excellent credit. So I said, you know what? I'm going to use my credit. I have that ability. I'm going to use my savings and I am going all in. And that's what I did. Actually, Valentine's Day, February 14th, I walked out of
Oh,
that job never to look back. Yeah, it took me about 2 weeks to actually like emotionally reconnect with my daughter, and go through the stress, like release the stress that the job like had caused and everything. And then about beginning of March, it was all in on my business. I'm learning, I'm growing, all the things. And it's just beautiful. Like there's no
mm,
turning back for me. Like
yeah.
I was never an employee before I had a kid. Now that I have my daughter, like someone else controlling my schedule, my life, my time, I can't.
I
There's
know.
not,
And
it's not even an option anymore. It's no
it
longer,
is. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I think once you start doing it on your own, and there is really no turning back in that sense.
Yeah, once you get a
And
taste of that power and that
yes,
control over your
your
life,
your your own
can't
life,
you
yes.
can't relinquish that again. It's just
Mm,
I don't even think it's
mm.
possible.
And the reality is, why would you? I was just talking to some of my Malaysian friends, because obviously, like I said, I just started, the the distribution line in Malaysia, and I said, especially in Asia, and I'm sure it's the same in America as well, because I've had friends who have worked in America, and it's long, long hours. And the expectation there that it's long hours. So, and I like, it doesn't have to be that way, You're so stuck in that grind of thinking that it has to be that way. It really doesn't, because I've seen it. I mean, look at our community. We we run our business, successfully. There's some people who have obviously been in longer than yourself and myself, and we have seen it being used very successfully. So it's a business model that definitely works. It's all about getting your headspace correct and knowing and trusting that yes, it will work, and you putting your whole heart to it.
Yeah.
Nowadays I sit in a space where I know that even like if I was putting all that effort in making sure a project or a sales or whatever was working right in a corporate environment, put that same effort into your own business and it would be a definite success. And
Yeah, and
initially,
it's been proven by thousands.
hmm,
Thousands of people have found success just in our personal community, not the company and the business alone, but just in our personal community, thousands of people have found that success based on the blueprint and the business model
hmm,
that they provide us, you know?
that's right.
So
Yeah,
it's been proven over and over and over and over again what they've given us. It's just a matter of relinquishing the need to reinvent the wheel, if you will.
yeah,
Like just follow the steps that have been proven, implement them, learn what you need to learn for your own personal journey and where you are in your experience, and just keep showing up until you learn, and inevitably success will
yes,
follow. It has
absolutely.
thousands of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really the journey of it. When they say it's 80-20, and that's what I really, really love so much about this business, the 80% of personal growth and the 20% of strategy. And really it is the 20% of strategy is rinse and repeat. Once you get in and you know what it is, it's literally rinse and repeat. But it's the personal growth that comes into play that is so, so huge. Like every day, I'm still learning. Every
I am
day
too.
I'm
Yeah.
still improving. And it's just, it excites me. It's really, one of the things that really brought my purpose. And like I said, my purpose initially when I started the business was that I just wanted an online business. I wanted to make sure that the product that I had was something that everyone needed. When I started it and I got my first sale, or well, my first few sales, that's when I realized the purpose. And everyone will, when I couldn't understand when sometimes people go, oh, um, it's so much more than just making money. And it really is.
Hmm.
Nowadays when people ask me what's my purpose of running this business, yes, of course, making money. We all need
Changing
money.
lives.
That's the reality of it. Money helps to change lives, and that's the reality of it. And gives you choices as well. But what happened was like people that I attracted was a lot of them were in state of depression. I mean, I am 51, and so a lot of the ladies at that age were a lot of them either have not worked for a while or they've kind of delved here and there a little bit with different things, and a lot of them had either they had chronic illnesses or they've just gone through quite a lot and they are in quite a depressed state. And to be able to bring them in, run a business with them, and show them the purpose, and having the vehicle of, we didn't actually talk about the Freedom Era, but the Freedom Era is the training section of the whole business model. And to have that as a solid foundation to actually help my ladies to actually rebuild and give them a purpose as well, that was just mind blowing. Like I always tell my girls, from the first time I saw you to now probably just about 6 months, they have changed so much,
My
so much.
sponsor tells me that all the time. She's like, the
Yes.
person you are today is it's completely different. She's like, the person you were a long time, it's unrecognizable. Like you've grown and blossomed and like learned and evolved so much. It's true though.
Yeah.
That
And when
80
people
that
say
80%.
that, yes, that's right. Absolutely. You know, when people say the what is happiness, this is happiness. You know, being able to actually help someone not just find financial freedom, but be able to find themselves back, to be able to grow and believe and have a purpose and
Have
see
peace
them.
within
It is.
themselves. I
Yeah,
have
and be
so
able
much
to see the
peace.
shine.
Yeah.
Mm. So
Yeah. I used to
you,
have a lot of depression and anxiety and all kinds of stuff. And I woke up I have bad days. Everybody has bad days. You know, I have a 3 year
mm,
old.
yep.
I get stressed out, but I wake up with so much peace and calm, knowing that I am on the exact path that I'm supposed to be, that I am like creating everything that I want for myself and
Mm,
my daughter. You know,
yep.
I'm not creating what somebody else wants me to or living in a state where they get to decide what I'm wearing. It's I get to wake up and do what's best for us and our happiness every day. And it calms me and it makes me feel so
Mm.
good every single day.
And yeah, and it absolutely that, and this is the beauty of this business model. It is so much more. And I remember just a couple of months ago, we had Eric Worre in one of our training. Eric Worre being like, you know, the guru of you know,
Network marketing.
network marketing. And like he says that the journey that you go on when you're in network marketing is like nothing you've ever had. It really is. I mean, I'm from a marketing background, 20 over years in marketing. I have never felt the way I felt now in the 20 years at all. You know, the kind of fulfillment that I get seeing the people that I can help, it really is about helping other people find their journey as well. You know, I was speaking to a friend who is a doctor, and I explained exactly what I said to you about how fulfilling it is for me and how it creates that happiness within me. And to be able to see the ladies that I work with find that journey and that fulfillment in them, and then seeing that shine in their face again. She says, yeah. So it is about having a purpose and being able to bring someone from depression to knowing that yes, they are valuable, they have a purpose as well, and they can do it. And in terms of the marketing side of things, and you're saying that you know every day we are learning from the Freedom Era. There's a whole lot of training and you know things that you can pick up from. In fact, they've got a whole section where it teaches you how to launch your business from
Yeah.
start to end. And when I say to people that it really is true that they teach you everything, you don't have to know anything at all. They teach you to the T. It is really true. I have learned so much more in terms of tips and how easy it can be done, you know, whether it's Facebook or it's Instagram and using your social media. Really, the Freedom Era's platform, compared to everything else that I've had in the past as a marketing person, it's mind blowing. It really is a change of paradigm. Like when I was in marketing, like in the corporate, you would learn some and you won't get some because obviously you rely on other people, whether it's you know advertising agencies or whatever agencies, and they will never tell you everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Freedom Era, it really is so open and they want you
Not
to
only
learn.
yeah, not
Yes,
only do they teach you everything, as the social media is constantly updating. They constantly update the content and the education
that's right.
as it
Mm,
progresses. Like as they're
yeah.
learning, okay, well, this isn't working anymore. This is more effective. They will update the trainings as quickly as they can so that it's relevant and it stays relevant like all
Mm,
the time. That's what I love about it. They're
yeah.
constantly putting new content in there as they're learning. like as they learn and make mistakes and learn, oh, this is, or not necessarily mistakes, fail forward and learn that, oh, this isn't working anymore. Facebook's changed in this way, or the social media has changed in that way. They update it for us so that we don't have to make those, those adjustments and
Mm.
relearn ourselves. They're constantly upgrading and updating. It's amazing.
And it really is about the community, right? The community is there to also help you sort of, if you're ever stuck, the community is so open and so willing to help each other. And that's what I
Just like you
found.
being here, I was able to post in our worldwide community of over 8,000 people
Yeah.
and say, hey, I have this interview series and, I don't have anybody lined up for a little
Mm.
while. Is there anybody that wants to, help me out and join me? And I've got so many responses of people that are like, hey, I'll help. Hey, yeah, let's connect. Let's get to know each other. And it's beautiful. It's amazing.
I
Within
know.
like 2 hours, I created that post. It was posted into the group relatively
Yeah.
quickly, like I don't know, within minutes actually. It was surprising. And I had so many people commenting back within hours. It was beautiful. Now I've got
Mm.
like so many interviews set up. So amazing.
But it's also the community that you build that, you and I have never spoken. We just answered
Nope.
to each other and then
Mhm.
you jump on and now we've got a connection. And I know you are heading off to Japan as well
I
for the
know. Yeah.
50th anniversary. So yes, so
Yeah.
like a whole heap of us are heading off to Japan. Like if you think that this company is not for real, it is going to be as real as you can see it. There will be a whole ton of us who are heading off to Okinawa in Japan at the end of the month. Or I think it was on the 21st, 22nd is when
Yeah.
they
And
have
that's the
the
beauty of
event.
it. A couple days ago, you and I didn't know each other. We had no idea the other person existed. Here we are building a connection, a relationship, and having this conversation. And then in a couple weeks, you're from Australia. I'm from United States. In a
Yeah,
couple weeks, we're going to be together in the same room in Japan.
I
Like
know. And then we're
it's
going
amazing.
and not even meeting each other, face to face. That
Yeah.
is the beauty of this
Yeah.
whole
It's
business. There's
amazing.
so many levels of, the connection, the human connection, without having to deal with, your worry of the 9 to 5, whether you have got a secure job, whether someone's going to ask your job the next day, whether you have to play politics or not play politics, all that is just out of the door. Like I don't even have to worry about all that anymore.
Yeah, I didn't have to ask permission to go on this trip. I just decided and then I'm going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah. So that's basically my story and how it's changed me in so many ways. But really the most fulfilling part is being able to help other families see the opportunity. And I mean, I'm one that is really strong on that abundance is for everyone. It really is
We
for
all have
everyone.
the
It
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. That's right. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter, how educated, not educated you are. All that doesn't matter. And that to me is like such a beautiful thing. And that's how, our world, our life should be, as is from the
So
beginning.
inclusive. Yeah, it's so inclusive and so detailed within the education and the support and the community that anyone from any background, any experience can come in here as long as they have the drive and the desire to want to change and like show up for themselves, they can. All of the tools, all of the resources are there. And if they're not, you just have to ask and the community will come together to find you that tool and find you that resource and connect you with someone that can help you with it. Like
Mm.
it's like no stones unturned. Everything is
Mm.
available.
Yep, definitely. And anyone who's sort of thinking that, on the online space is not for you, the reality is, like the other day I was listening to a podcast from Balaj and we were talking about that the on having a business online is inevitable. It's like he was saying, it's really funny the explanation he had. It's like telling someone you have a toilet that still has a pill at the bottom and you don't have water in it. It's like people go looking at you and go, what what are you saying? And that really resonated to me because I mean, like I said, I'm 51. I come from an era where when I was young, that was what the toilets were like in Asia. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it is true. And it is so true. If you don't have a business or a job for yourself where you're the boss and you are able to actually let it run 24/7 without you being there, then you really have to sit down and rethink because you really need something that is able to continue running even when you're sleeping. And that's
Yeah.
the
And
business that we have at the moment.
it's where we're going for sure. Online business and technology and the world of the life of service and technology and growth into online businesses. I think that COVID catapulted us, but that's definitely where it's where the world is going. And
Mm,
I mean, you don't want to get left behind, you know? You don't want to be
that's right.
late to the game and then all of a sudden be like, oh gosh, everything's gone into the technology world, you know? It's where it's
Mm.
going. It's
And that's the
to learn.
automation part of that's sort of part of the automation part of being able to run the business. I mean, our business model is pretty simple, right? It's basically using your own personal branding, which is what
Mhm.
we all do. Like it was a no-brainer for me. I already use social media, so why would I not use it and monetize it if it's already there? And it's not like I'm monetizing something that I don't believe in. It is so aligns with my values, it so aligns with who I am, what I am, and everything I say on social media is exactly as per what I believe and I do. So there's no faking it as per se. It's just me of who I am. So that part of it, the personal branding part, is easy. It's just telling your story of who you are. And then the
Sharing your
automation,
journey as you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
the automation part is just, like we say, the freedom which is the training community. You just use so many things in terms of how to automate your social media. And if you decide to go and do ads, you can do ads. They teach you how to do ads. Some people prefer not to, but in general, that the fact that all your communication is there 24/7. If I'm sleeping, you're awake and you see my social posts, that is part of the working of the automation. And if you
And the
really don't,
world is your oyster. Like you can reach anyone in the world, the
yeah,
whole world. Like you have no limit. There are so many people in this world on social media.
yeah, that's right. I mean, like for me now, like I said, I'm starting to push into, even though I'm in Australia, I am, originally from Malaysia, and I'm starting my distribution line in Malaysia, but I don't have to be physically there. I can
Hmm.
still reach out to the community and the people in Malaysia because of the fact that of my online presence, right? So that part of it, and of course, there is the sales component of it, whereby if you don't want to do the sales, there is a sales team that can actually help you close sales. You
Yeah,
know,
they educate your people on everything they need to know about the business. They do your sales call, they do your paperwork. I mean, that's hours per person. That's
hmm,
hours of education, the actual sales call, paperwork. That's hours taken off your plate that you don't have to do. And that's where
yeah,
the time freeing up your time comes because I mean hours per person, you're saving hours upon hours for each sale and each partner that you bring in. And that's time you get to spend doing whatever you want to do, traveling, being with
hmm,
your family, anything that lights your heart up, you get to go do that because we have
it is.
a whole sales team. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Every time when the people in our community talk about the more fun you have, the more money you make. And it's really true. Every time I go traveling, I always make a sale. Every time. So when I first got my first two girls in, I was actually in Japan last year. And I was doing this 90 days run, which is part of the Freedom Era training. or we have this challenge every year called the 90 days challenge.
I know I'm
And it
going to
was,
be, I think they're starting it when we get back from Japan this year, and I'm
yes,
100%
yes,
in
you
going
must
for it.
do it. It's really, really, really
I'm
good. That's
excited.
where it really kicked off my whole business. And
Mhm.
it was, in fact, when I said to the community at that time when I was doing the 90 days run, I said, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can actually stay on in the 90 days, because in between that 90 days, I'm actually traveling in Japan. And I said, okay, I'm going to that's going to be my challenge. If I can do the 90 days and bring in sales, it means this business model works. And really, that was the point when I actually managed to do everything that needed to be done and brought
Awesome.
in 2 sales within that 90 days. I was like, yeah, I'm sold. It can be done, you know.
Transformative. Yeah.
That's right. And then like recently, I just got back from Taiwan, and even when I was in Taiwan, I made a sale.
That's
So
the automation.
that is the automation for
It
you.
just, it happens where while you're living your life,
Yeah,
they're working on your behalf to put these sales through and this paperwork and all of this. It's amazing. I could
yeah.
literally go on it.
And the commission, I mean, when you see the commission of it, it's just, even if you do one sale, I don't know what it is in US dollars, but even if you sold one item, like, how many, I always talk to people who are in low ticket items, and they have to sell so many products in order to get a couple of hundred. We sell one product and you already get everything between, depending on where your ranks is, you get anything between sort of 300 to thousands. And if you're selling it as a business opportunity, which really it is such a low barrier to entry with this business opportunity, is that
Considering
you
what you get in return. Yeah, in the US, it's depending on the price change. We just got our price change extended for another month. They were supposed to start it tomorrow, and then they're not increasing it till July 1st. So
uh
as of right now, it's anywhere from 14 to 16,000. You get to start your business, and you get all of this stuff. But you not only start a business, you get some commissions back to start. If you like needed help with financing
yeah,
and stuff, you'll get a little bit of that commission back. You get hundreds of dollars back. But your first sale here, if you do the quad strategy, the quad business strategy, your first sale, depending on what quad you do, will be over a couple $1,000, over $2,000.
mm,
That's your
absolutely.
first sale, one sale, your
A-
first one sale. It's
Actually,
mind blowing.
it is. It is. I mean, anyone who is listening to this, I would say to you, reach out to Michelle and just make sure, given that you said, like for us, the cutoff is done. Today, our
Yeah.
price has been increased already. But for you
Yeah.
guys,
And
if
if you're here following me, reach out to me and I will help you. But I'm going to tag you too, Sharon. So if your followers are here and they're watching you, reach out to Sharon. If that's who you're following and that's who you resonate with, reach out to Sharon. If you resonate with me and you're following me, reach out to me. It's all fair game here, it's
it
all
is,
support.
it
So
is, it
whoever you're
is.
aligned with, reach out to that person
Yeah.
because you're going to be in business for years to come with that person and you really need to have that aligned connection and relationship.
Absolutely.
So for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful how we all say the same. Like, that's the beauty of our community, right? You and I don't know each other yet. What you're saying and what I'm saying and what our values are is absolutely to the T, right? We all
Mhm.
share that same value. And that was exactly the same thing I said to one of my teammates yesterday was that don't be afraid of that there may be competition or
There's
there's
not.
someone
It's all
who's
support. It's support, not
is
competition. You
yeah,
know,
there's
you're
no
you showing up with your personal brand is you being who you are.
yeah,
And the people who are attracted to you will come to you regardless. And that's the whole
absolutely.
thing. If somebody's not attracted to my personality and my values, but yours, they were never meant for me in the first place. We're not aligned to work together.
Mm,
They're your aligned, so that's the beauty of it. There's no competition or anything because people gravitate to you because they're aligned with you. If they're not
yeah,
aligned to you, they're going to gravitate to someone else. And that's okay because we don't force It's
Yeah.
just it's all alignment and beauty and just love. That's what I love about it. It's all support,
Yeah.
you
Yes,
know? There's
100%,
yeah,
100%. Beautiful.
yeah,
Well, I think we
yeah.
sort of covered most of it as to where we are,
Also,
but
yeah.
really, if you are on the fence and if you're thinking about it, do reach out to Michelle or myself.
Mhm.
And speak, especially for those who are, in America and in the stateside,
Now is the
because
time. The
now it
price
is
increase
really
is
the time.
coming. It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
because take,
And if you're
take advantage. Take advantage of the lower rates that is available now. So come in,
mhm,
buy into the business on a lower rate, and then earn the commission on a higher.
for the higher rate because it's coming,
Yes,
and
that's
that
right.
the price increase means we get a pay increase. Our commissions will go up a little bit. But I do want to say, if you think you want to start, but you're not sure and you have a hesitation and confusion or anything with either one of us, that's okay. Start a conversation. Nobody says you have to
Yep.
start right now or anything, but if you feel like maybe you want to, but you're not sure and you have some hesitation and questions, ask questions. We
Yeah.
would both show up completely honestly, and we want you to make the most educated decision that you possibly can and know
Yeah.
everything that you're getting into. There's
Yep.
no like rush or hesitation or anything. Just reach out, start a conversation. We can
Yep.
talk for as long as you need. And if you have
Yes.
some fears, we'll both help you like figure those out and see where they're coming from
Hmm.
and work through them. Because we've both been doing so much self-development and self-improvement that we know how to help someone move through that. But thank you
Yeah.
so much if you're still watching and you're here
No.
and watching the replay because we are in two totally different parts of the world.
Yes,
So this will be
that's
a
right.
recording that's posted. And I am so eternally grateful for making this connection with you, Sharon. And I cannot wait to see you in Japan
Oh,
person.
thank you.
And
Yes.
yes, thank you so much. And bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so
Let me
grateful.
let me just quickly take a quick photo of the two